Hello, everyone. My name is Siri Phaneendra, and today I will be talking about one of my favorite archaeological sites, the Old Stone Fort. First off, the Old Stone Fort is located in the beautiful state of Tennessee, specifically the Coffee County. Archaeologists performed radiocarbon analysis of charcoal in the walls and determined that this site was built during the Middle Woodland period. This was originally inhabited by Native Americans for about 500 years until it was abandoned and inhabited by European settlers. And in the year of 1966, the state of Tennessee purchased the Chumbley estate. It eventually became a state archaeological park for tourists from all over the world to visit. Ever since 400 AD, there has been some erosion on the site's walls, mounds, and loess, which is a sediment formed by dust. Archaeologists discovered that there was varying thickness of loess under the mound compared to the open portion of the enclosure, which is evidence of erosion, and it has indicated that erosion has indeed left its footprint at the old stone fort. The two archaeologists responsible for the analysis of the site are Stephen J. Yerka and Charles H. Faulkner, both of whom are from the University of Tennessee, though both conducted research in different years, specifically 1965 and 2010. The Old Stone Fort is a prehistoric Native American site. During the American occupation, Tennessee's descendants are Cherokee inhabitants until the Trail of Tears or forced relocation to Oklahoma. It was determined that there are two local Middle Woodland cultures credited for building this site, specifically the McFarland and the Owl Hollow cultures. Now, transitioning over to the studies that Yerka and Faulkner both led. Faulkner focused on archaeobotany, the study of plant remains, while Yerka emphasized geophysical analyses, including GPR, GIS, excavation, resistivity, and so on. So, starting us off with Faulkner's archaeobotany study, which provided us with information about the seasonal mobility of the inhabitants. The seeds found in middens, or storage pits, were species including goosefoot and maygrass, both of which have the ability of being preserved for a long duration of time, indicating that it was quite uncommon for people to migrate. Moving on to Yerka's study, specifically GPR, which he performed on this blue portion right here. The use of this method helped determine the internal mound structure, and the presence of black shale slabs were found in between each of the stages and was evidence of mound staging. Another method used by Yerka was excavation, and in this image we can see that Yerka performed on one of the vest trenches. In Trench 1, many materials were found in the mound, including shale, cherty, rubble cap, all of which come from various natural resources. The shale slabs, for instance, were found behind the waterfalls and rivers deposits. This indicates that the construction of the mounds were built with intent and purpose, which was a common trend during the woodland period. Lastly, in Trench 2, an intrusive feature was discovered in the ditch and was filled through the process of erosion. It is determined that the inhabitants of the old stone fort built a gravel roadbed, which is most likely a driveway, using materials including loess and cherty limestone parent material. And we can see over here that there is a modern disturbance in this study area. All in all, Old Stone Fort served multiple purposes, one of them being an area where people perform corporate duties, the other being a location for everyone to come together and strengthen their culture's beliefs. This site truly emphasized the importance of social membership and unity. In the future, I would plan to utilize aerial photography, both vertical and oblique imaging, to see the site from a new, high altitude perspective. I would also use LiDAR to make a more accurate representation of the site's natural and man made surfaces. Thank you so much for tuning in to my presentation about the Old Stone Fort, and hope that this inspires you to visit this beautiful historical site in the future.